February is the month of love, so it's time to fall deeply in love with yourself. Christine Arylo joining us this morning. She wrote Madly in Love with Me, and it's a book about finding love within yourself and learning to accept yourself and loving yourself. Thank you so much for coming today.
I'm happy to be here.
Tell me about your journey and how you decided to write the book in the first place.
I never even considered that loving myself was something I should do, but about 10 years ago I found myself on the receiving end of a broken engagement. And my fiance at the time said, "Don't want to marry you, don't love you." And I was like, how did this happen? Really smart woman, I was getting my MBA, I had a really great job. And the answer that came back was, Christine, you have a lot of self-esteem and self-confidence, but you don't love yourself. And I had no idea what that meant. I asked my friends, they didn't know. I asked my mother and my aunt, they're like, honey, just be happy, stop asking such silly questions. And so I went on this journey, a 10-year journey, to actually answer the question, what does it really mean to love yourself, and how do you do it?
So how do you do it? I know, 10 years worth of the journey, and that's put in the book, but in a nutshell, how do you do that?
I think if you could just boil it all down to one thing, that's why I made the subtitle of the book, The Daring Adventure to Becoming Your Own Best Friend, is really consider what it would be like if you were your own best friend. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, loving myself, that feels a little like shameful or guilty, or like I shouldn't really talk about that. But loving yourself, it's just like if I was to love you, if you were my sister and I loved you, you would think that's cool, right? That's a good thing. Or if I was your best friend, I would come to you and give you good advice, and hopefully you'd listen, or not, right? But we don't do that for ourselves. And love, just directed in a different direction, right? Whether I'm loving you or I'm loving myself, whether I'm being a best friend to you or being a best friend to myself. And so many times we don't actually make the decisions that are what a best friend would, were we being a best friend to ourselves.
Are there exercises that you can do, throughout the book and learn in the book to help you with this journey and help you to love yourself?
So many, because loving yourself isn't just like, oh, go love yourself, love yourself.
Good luck.
Well, how do you do that? So I've been testing all of these crazy, I call them daring adventures of love, for the last 10 years on myself. And one of my favorites that I actually did this morning when I woke up, I just flew down from San Francisco, was I checked my energy tank every day. So we know how you can get really exhausted and overworked and overwhelmed.
Oh yeah.
We kind of like Energizer bunnies, And then we're depleted, and then we're like, oh my gosh, how do I fill back up? But what I do every morning is I actually get up in the morning, close my eyes, well, actually I stay in bed, I close my eyes, I open my eyes, and I say, where's my energy tank at today? And I kind of dip my energy tank in, just on a scale of 0 to 100, what's the number? And you'll always get a number. And if your number is less than 50%, you're in serious self-care, like bad place, ER self-care. And then you have to ask yourself, so what do I need today? Like, when's the last time you actually asked yourself, what do you need today, sweetie?
Good question. Good question. So what are some of the other exercises that you tell people to do? Is it doing things for yourself, like going to get a massage, or is it a lot deeper than that?
It's so much deeper than that. Massage is a massage is self-pampering.
It'll help you feel better for like an hour.
Well, yeah. And it's just like a little itty-bitty piece. Self-love is so much deeper than that. And I talk about the 10 branches of self-love. And so there's self-care and self-acceptance and self-honesty and self-respect and self-esteem. And one really daring act of love, if I could dare everyone, this is like one of the best, because I find that as women especially, we're really hard on ourselves. So we're really low in self-compassion, right? We're not good at being kind and gentle to ourselves. So I would like to dare everyone to give up comparison for 7 days. No comparing yourself to yourself, who you think you should be, or to anyone else. And then when you find yourself comparing yourself to like the woman who just walked in, or to somebody that you don't even know, you actually have to go up to that person and tell them what inspires you about them.
Wow.
So if I was to see you, you were to walk into a room and I'd be like, gosh, I love your dress, she's so beautiful. And then I'd be like, I don't feel so beautiful right now. I'd have to go up to you and say, I love your dress, you're just stunning. And it melts away the comparison and the lack of self-acceptance in a snap.
Do you think women do this a lot more than men do? I mean, I just know as a woman that, I think so, but do you, through your journey, do you think that they do?
Women definitely suffer from more of a comparison queen than men do. It shows up differently for men. Men are more competitive, but we all suffer from a lack of self-love, because in our culture, it's not normal. We're all focused on Valentine's Day, right? That's the day of going out to get love for others, but we don't consider, well, what about filling ourselves up with love?
So there's an event tomorrow where people can come out, meet you, and learn all about self-love. Tell us about that. Yeah,
so February 13th is the International Day of Self-Love, and so in the honor of International Day of Self-Love, I came down to San Diego to throw a full day event, and we're going to create, I have my love jeans on, and so these jeans were actually created by my good friend Shiloh Sophia McLeod. She's an artist, and she took my personal transformation story and put them into images on the jeans. And so tomorrow we're partnering with Shakti Rising and Jeans for Justice, two great women's organizations here, for a full-day event, and we're going to turn our self-criticizing stories into self-empowering stories, and everyone's going to create their own pair of love jeans.
Fantastic. And also the book, Madly in Love with Me, pick it up. It might be a great Valentine's Day present for yourself or someone that you think might really need a little boost right now. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me on.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
And I love your jeans. They're
Yes,
very cute.
everyone celebrates Self-Love Day.
Yes, February the 13th.
February the 13th.
Very cool. Thank you so much.